Hi, I'm Jane Leyden Kavanaugh, and I'm talking today with Joe McHugh, who is the Executive Director of Loyola Spirituality Center. That's based in St. Paul, but it does offer services to all of us in the metro area. Joe, it is good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to be with you, Jane. It's a privilege to do that because I'm really excited about having an opportunity to talk with folks about the really good work we do at Loyola.
Yes. Now, it's called the Loyola Spirituality Center. Tell us, what is a spirituality center? What does spirituality mean to Loyola?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's break that down into a couple of pieces. Let's talk just for a second about spirituality, because I think that often spirituality gets kind of a bad rap, because sometimes when people hear that term, I think what they think about is it's something it's some sort of mysterious practice that takes them off to this mysterious, unreal world, kind of away from their experience. And the way, rather, that we understand spirituality at Loyola, steeped as we are in the tradition of Ignatius Loyola, of seeing God, of experiencing God in all things, our sense of spirituality, rather, it's what brings us really into our experience rather than away from it. So that's really, I think, a really significant kind of thing. So as we said, spirituality is very practical.
Yes.
It's about where we live and how we live.
Yes.
All right?
And how long has Loyola been up and at 'em?
Well, we've been around since 1977. So in terms of the Twin Cities, we're one of the longest lasting spirituality centers. And I think one of the things that speaks well for is we have a staff that's absolutely superb, that's well trained, that's superbly experienced in working with folks who are spiritually serious. So we've been there for over 30 years. We've been doing this well. And we basically accomplish our mission in three ways. Our mission of helping people to notice and really to name and respond to the way in which they experience God in their lives. We basically do that in three ways. Through spiritual direction, through retreats, and through both educational and outreach programs.
Great. Well, say more about that. Is there an upcoming program at Loyola that might be of interest to somebody watching?
Sure. One of the things I would really encourage people to do is even before we talk about a specific program, is to make sure that you're looking at our website regularly. We've got wonderful programs that are going on all through the year. The program that we're really excited about that's coming up on October 15th soon is a program we're doing. It's going to be presented by Dr. Henry Emmons, who's a holistic psychiatrist. He's got a book out which has been very popular called The Chemistry of Joy. And he has a new book coming out soon, I think at the beginning of next year, The Chemistry of Calm. But what Dr. Emmons is going to do for us on October 15th is a workshop on the spiritual dimensions of anxiety and depression. And what he's going to be doing is calling on both Eastern and Western spiritual and, if you want, medical traditions, and to sort of bring that home to people. We're really excited about this. It's going to be a really important as well as interesting program. So I would really encourage people to get involved in registering for that right away.
Great.
So checking our website, giving us a call. So I think the other thing that a program like that does, it explains or gives some flesh to what we talked about before, and that is our conviction that spirituality is very practical. It's not about otherworldly stuff, but it's about, as I call, kind of the grace and the grime of our real lives.
Of our real lives.
Yeah, so in terms of helping people get a sense for anxiety and depression as an opportunity for growth, not easy,
right,
but an opportunity to work through the spiritual parts of that, and
so
to
this
find
program,
meaning and purpose. Yeah.
So if someone is experiencing anxiety and depression, or a loved one who is, this might be a good program for them.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. And we also have CEUs which are available for that.
Oh,
so
great.
there'd be professional people who will want to come and do that as well.
Okay. Now, say a bit about Loyola's mission. Why does it exist?
Well, well, let me give you an example. Sometimes I kid with people that, like, when we were young, and even now that I was going to say old, now that we're older,
Yes.
I think we've always been encouraged to grow up.
Yes.
And someday I'm hoping
Be an
maybe
adult.
maybe I'm hoping someday I'll do that. I think a way of understanding Loyola's mission, rather, is to say what we're about is helping people grow down. And by that I mean we're involved in teaching how people how to touch their roots, how to take the roots of their lives and extend them down deep into their real lives. And that's what we teach people at Loyola. We accompany people on that process of getting in touch with, if I can use that trendy term, getting in touch with kind of the deep currents in their lives. Let me give you another example.
Okay.
I sometimes, when I teach people about spirituality, I sometimes do this exercise. I'll tell people, close your eyes and picture the most beautiful tree you can think of, and then draw it.
Okay.
And what's interesting is afterwards, 99% of the people who do that, they have this wonderful picture of a tree from the ground up.
Yes.
And the thing that it's important to point out to people is, you know, there's as much of the tree that's below the ground,
Yes.
as there is that's above the ground. And so it's being attentive to to what's below the ground, so that we're not superficial and we don't live just from the ground.
So the spiritual programs, the one that you just talked about in October, that's one of the ways you address what's going on under the surface for people. And then there's this whole area of spiritual direction that Loyola offers. My understanding of spiritual direction is that you get a companion in your faith or spiritual journey that listens to you and is curious about your spiritual life and is a guide and helps you grow deeper. And you meet regularly with this person for an extended amount of time. Is that what Loyola considers spiritual direction?
Absolutely. It's an ancient Christian tradition of companioning people in really in holy listening, in listening together to the invitation of God in our lives. I sometimes refer to it, I say spiritual direction in many ways is personal training for the soul.
I like
and
that.
people typically know what that means. It's giving myself the opportunity to grow rather than relying on what other people say, and learning what that feels like myself.
Tailor-made to your spiritual growth.
Yeah.
Good. So spiritual direction, spiritual programs, and then that third the third area that you offer are retreats. Why would someone so busy go on retreat?
Well, we offer traditional retreats at retreat houses. And again, I think of retreats as, if we use the language you've talked about, sustained times of growing down. But what we offer, I think what's very unique, is we offer retreats for people who might think they're too busy to go away. And they might not be able to. So we offer a couple of options. We talk about an at-home retreat, where people can be on retreat for a period of time. We offer an extended spiritual exercises. So there's a lot of different possibilities for people.
Great.
And what I would really suggest is anything that people would be interested in, give us a call, come in, meet with somebody, get a sense of whether what we do fits for you.
Great.
All right?
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
This is Jane Leyden Kavanaugh here with Joe McHugh, Executive Director of the Loyola Spirituality Center. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.